very much to you, Katleho, and the viewers. Let me welcome this opportunity. Indeed, as you are aware that we have restricted Gauteng to level 1 because of various factors, non-revenue, water, leaks, illegal connections. Today, with Mayor of Johannesburg, Councillor Dada, we went to view their new Brixton reservoir. This is a state-of-the-art reservoir that is going to give them 26 milliliter water, which is quite a big reservoir, because the area around Brixton is it is in the upper lying area, so people are unable to get water there. To us, we feel good that now Johannesburg is responding to the demands. The growing population in Johannesburg, vis-a-vis the capacity of their storage was not really serving our people well. I'm happy that they have 11 new reservoirs that they are going to build this year, but the one that we went to today, there's good progress, but they also have an element of social responsibility to the school where the reservoir is. And to me, that is the way to go, that when you build such a resource, come together and work with the communities. So by April, they'll be done with this. So the pressure of Johannesburg to give water to the area around the Brixton, it will be a matter of past.
So, Minister, I mean, you mentioned a number of issues that are contributing towards this. I mean, illegal connections as well as a growing population. Do you think we have a water scarcity issue or a water management issue on a broader sense?
In Gauteng in particular and KZN, we have water management issues, decaying infrastructure, lack of enforcement of bylaws, people that are not paying for services that they've received. There is no drought in Gauteng. Yes, South Africa is one of the 30 top countries with water scarce, but in Gauteng, as I said, this is a man-made, self-inflicted pain. They should have closed leaks long time ago, but now I'm happy how they are responding. All 11 municipalities in Gauteng, they are responding very positive in terms of closing the leaks. The Premier of Gauteng, as well as the MEC for Kokta, were meeting on a weekly basis to make assessment. They are responding very well. But now we must also speak to our communities to use water sparingly. When we are saying level 1, don't do these things. They must just adhere to that. If they don't, municipalities must then enforce bylaws, because we must ensure that everyone has water. So if we use water sparingly, we'll have water. We're not in a drought situation. There is no 0 day that is envisaged soon in Gauteng. It's just that we must manage our water properly.
And we currently are on level 1 restrictions, Minister. Any possibilities of moving to higher levels in the near future?
I've given Gauteng a month to adhere to level 1, and if they are moving at the speed that they are doing now, we might not go to level 2 and 3. That depends on how they speak to communities, how communities also plug into ensuring that we don't go to level 2. But if matters are not getting better, we'll unfortunately, we'll have to go to level 2.
We certainly do hope, Minister, that we don't get to that point. I'm not sure if I heard you correctly earlier on, Minister. Did you mention that there are 11 new reservoirs that will be built within Gauteng? Just talk to us about the expansion of certain investments that are being made in ensuring that the infrastructure is kept at a place where it should be.
Indeed, Gauteng and Johannesburg in particular, because of their huge population, they have in their plans 10 new reservoirs, including about 3 around Soweto, because of the growing population. And I've advised them that they must bring in the private sector to assist them in terms of ensuring that when there is no water for ordinary communities, the big industries, the factories are also affected. So if they launch a special purpose vehicle where every strategic stakeholder come in to ensure that we work together. The issues of water cannot be government alone. It needs all of us, because once there is no water a day, we cannot survive. So it is important that as they build these 10 more water reservoirs, that will take us up to 100 megaliters, 100 megaliters when they are done. So it's more than 100 million. Therefore, there won't be problem in Johannesburg. So we must just work together. And I'm looking forward in ensuring that we give them support. We are going to do and play our role, that one of a source, because we must also build our source. When they want to reticulate, they must not struggle to reticulate. We must supply source, then must municipalities be able to regulate.
You mentioned something very important there, Minister, public-private partnerships. What has been the response from the private sector in regards to assisting this water issue, especially in Johannesburg?
In Johannesburg, the negotiations are still on. I can say without any fear of contradiction, in Mfuleni we are doing very well. We just are waiting for the provincial treasurer to sign. In Northern Cape, in Limpopo, we are doing very well. The mining sector came to say we want to partner, and they are, whenever they source water from our source, they also give to communities. If you want stability, want to entrench social cohesion, we must also do it through water resource, and we are happy about that. Gauteng, Johannesburg in particular, it won't be a problem to do that. The business sector is ready. It just needs to be engaged by us. And if we show our books that we have clean books, we can audit our books, we have capacity, we have capability, then it is easy to bring them on board. And I'm confident they will come.
And that relationship is a very important one, Minister. Let's just maybe talk a little bit about technology and innovation in addressing the water challenges. Are there any specific technologies that are being explored or implemented?
So far, yes, but in a very small scale. For instance, we want to ensure that when we have cleaned water, processed water, that processed water must not be the water that is used for irrigation. We must ensure that we use grey water for irrigation. We must ensure that we keep the blue drop. It's important. Our blue drop water has decreased, and that is worrisome, because once we go to green water status, it won't be good. So if we can ensure that we don't pollute, I know that the issue of Mukhale and pollution, it has been on the news. Now they are attending to that.
Lastly, Minister, what changes do you believe to water policy or regulation that would be necessary to effectively address the challenges, specifically in Johannesburg? Are there any new regulations that you're considering, perhaps, in ensuring that this problem is averted?
Yes, the President has signed the National Water Regulation that will make sure that we distinguish between the water service and the water authority. Because if a municipality does both, becomes a water service authority and also a provision, then there is a problem on that. So we want to ensure that we attend to that. The second one is that we must ensure that communities take ownership. The vandalism that you see around Gauteng, the issue of water tankers, the issue of mafia construction that are closing down our projects because they demand to be paid. Those are some of the issues that we've already packaged, working with COCTA and National Treasury, but also payment to the water boards. So we have agreed that on the MIC funding, they must ring-fence a percentage to pay water boards, but also on the equitable share. Before municipalities get equitable share, they must settle their debts. But national departments are also culprits, and provincial government and entities. They owe municipalities. And when municipalities are owed, they will owe us. And when they owe us, we'll have to watershed this resource, which is not a good thing. Load shedding, yes, you can survive a little bit, but water shedding is something that is not supposed to happen, and we must not be pushed to the corner where we do that. The user pay policy must be implemented, as well as updating the indigent register, where the indigent people must get water. But up to this far, it's not all municipalities across the country have not updated their indigent register. So we are going to work together to bring these reforms so that we can all have water in South Africa.
Which is a very precious resource. Minister, thank you so much for your time and for your inputs this afternoon. That's Water and Sanitation Minister Pemmy Majodina speaking to us there on the back of the Brixton reservoir in terms of where she as well as the Mayor of Johannesburg have done a walkabout today in monitoring the progress of that reservoir. Now,